Goshen Marhaba. We're passing through the most turbulent times in history. And all those people who love peace, who love humanity, and who are able to be tolerant to other faiths and who live and let others live in peace. Those who want to promote peace, I request them to get involved in the peace process. All these individuals who come from Islam, they need to be a little more knowledgeable about their religion so that they can understand their religion does not promote terrorism, and whichever groups within Islam invite them to such unholy causes like jihad with the weapon of knowledge, they should be able to reject all such ideas. But the foremost thing for everybody in Islam is to be able to be knowledgeable. What Muslim youth lacks today is knowledge, true knowledge of their religion. There is a hadith of Prophet Muhammad whereby the Prophet said, towards the end times, the religion of Islam will be confined and limited to its name only. And the Quran will be limited to its words only. And young boys will become scholars, and they will enter into vigorous physical worship. The Prophet said, even my companions do not worship that vigorously. However, the Quran will not go beyond their throats. Their mosques will be fancy and decorated. However, there will be null and void of guidance. Mischief will emerge from within them, and within them mischief will die out. Under the sky, they will be the worst of all creation. This prophetic tradition, if applied to ISIS, gives us a clear understanding of what ISIS is. They are unholy, they are un-Islamic, they do not follow the Quran, they do not follow the traditions of the Prophet, and they call themselves pure Muslims. They are pure filth. They're pure filth. They're not Muslims. And it is time for all Muslims to recognize these terrorists as terrorists. Open your eyes. Don't be fooled by these enemies of Islam and enemies of the community of Islam, an enemy of humanity. What they're doing today is not just abhorrible in the eyes of civil society. It is abhorrible in the eyes of God. Because God loves His creation more than 70 mothers combined can love a child. You're not pleasing God when you're killing innocent people. Suicide is haram in Islam. Strictly prohibited. No matter how great a devout Muslim you are, but in the end, if you commit suicide, you are destined to enter into hellfire. And this is undebatable. All schools of thoughts in Islam have no choice but to agree to this tradition of the Prophet. When you commit suicide and you go to hell, how can you justify blowing up yourself with an intention of killing dozens of people with you? When by committing suicide you are going to hell, how can you justify blowing up yourself and causing many other dozens of people to die? When taking your own life is not allowed, how can you take lives of others? This is not just a wrong interpretation. It is being done on purpose, knowingly that this is prohibited. But because they are not Muslims, they're just using the name of Islam. I would like you to understand the true message of Quran, the true message of the traditions of the Prophet. You know, let me tell you what the Prophet used to tell his companions when they would go to a war. When you go to a war, do not kill a woman. Do not kill a child. Do not destroy a temple. Do not destroy a church. Do not cut a tree. Do not kill animals. Do not kill elderly. Do not kill those who are poorly. And what are you doing? It was when Prophet Muhammad himself would go to a war against those who are enemies of his religion. I mean, he would not enter into a war with people who were not enemies of his religion. If a jihad was initiated by the Prophet himself, that jihad was done in self-defense.
True.
It was not an assault mode. It was done in self-defense. And even then, Prophet Muhammad strictly instructed them, his companions, do not kill elderly, do not kill the sick ones, do not kill a child, do not kill a woman, do not cut a tree, do not destroy a building. Do not destroy a church. Do not destroy a temple. And these were the instructions for a legitimate war. And what Taliban, Al-Qaeda, and Daesh are doing today, this is not legitimate. This is true definition of atrocity. This is a murder, mass murder, onslaught, carnage of humanity. They are butchers. This is organized butchery of humankind. You're not just destroying buildings and churches, and how can you call them Muslims? In Syria and Iraq, they blew away graves of prophets. Prophet Younus AlIslam's shrine was bombarded. You still think they are Muslims? All Muslims must show respect to all the prophets sent by God. And they are destroying shrines of the prophets. They are not Muslims. Do not join them. Condemn them. Expose them. We need to raise awareness of their true reality. People should be aware of the truth. People should know who ISIS are. People should know who Taliban are. They do not represent Islam. Whatever doctrine comes from them under the label of Islam is not Islam, even 1%, my friends. They are filthy animals. They are butchers. They are murderers. Their acts and themselves must be condemned. This is my message to the Muslim youth in Europe. Remain vigilant. Show your solidarity with the government of your country, so that they may be proud of you as a Muslim, that we have true Muslims living in our country who detest the terrorists. Make your countrymen proud of you and your association with Islam. Because I tell you, Islam is not what ISIS is telling you. True Islam is Sufi Islam. And Sufi Islam is love for all, hatred for none. Love for all, hatred for none. Thank you so much.
Aura TV. Guidance brought to you